Good day. My name is Sarah, and I will be your IELTS examiner for today's speaking test. Could you please introduce yourself and confirm your identification?
Good day, Sarah. My name is John Smith, and I'm here for the speaking test. Here is my identification.
Thank you, John. Now, let's begin with part 1 of the speaking test. I will ask you a few questions related to the topic of animals.
Sure, I'm ready.
Great. Let's start with the first question. Do you have a pet?
Yes, I do. I have a cat named Whiskers. She's been a part of my family for about 2 years now.
That's lovely to hear, John. Now, let's move on to the next question. What types of animals do you think make the best pets?
Well, I believe it varies from person to person, but in my opinion, dogs and cats make great pets. They are known for their loyalty, companionship, and the ability to form strong bonds with their owners.
I see your point. Now, let's discuss why people have pets. Why do you think people choose to have pets?
There are several reasons why people have pets. Firstly, pets provide companionship and emotional support, especially for individuals who live alone or have limited social interactions. Secondly, they can be a source of joy and happiness. Pets can bring laughter and playfulness into our lives. Lastly, some people keep pets for practical reasons, such as security or assistance, like guide dogs for individuals with visual impairments.
Very well explained, John. Now, let's move on to the final question for this part. Are there any types of animals that you think should not be kept as a pet?
Yes, there are certain animals that I believe should not be kept as pets. Wild animals like tigers, lions, or bears require specific natural habitats and often have complex needs that cannot be met in a domestic setting. Keeping such animals as pets can be dangerous for both the owner and the animal. Additionally, some reptiles, such as large snakes or crocodiles, can pose significant risks due to their size and nature.
Thank you for sharing your thoughts, John. That concludes part 1 of the speaking test. We will now move on to part 2, where you will have to speak for 2 minutes on a given topic. Please wait for a moment while I prepare the topic card. Alright, John. Here is your topic card. Please take a moment to read it, and then I would like you to speak on the topic for 2 minutes. Remember, you may make notes if you wish. You should speak without interruption. I will let you know when the time is up. Are you ready, John?
Yes, I'm ready. Thank you for this opportunity to share my unforgettable encounter with an animal. It was a remarkable experience that took place last summer during my trip to the Serengeti National Park in Tanzania. While on a safari drive, our vehicle approached a vast open grassland teeming with wildlife. The golden hues of the savanna stretched endlessly, dotted with scattered acacia trees. Suddenly, a magnificent African lion emerged from the tall grass, its regal mane flowing in the gentle breeze. As our eyes locked, time seemed to stand still. The lion's piercing amber eyes conveyed a sense of power and wisdom. It gracefully prowled towards us, its muscular body moving with a combination of grace and strength that was truly awe-inspiring. The lion came within mere meters of our vehicle, allowing us an up-close encounter with the king of the savannah. Its presence commanded respect and admiration. I could hear its deep, resonant breaths and feel the earth vibrate as it passed by. The experience was both exhilarating and humbling. Being in the presence of such a majestic creature evoked a profound sense of reverence for the natural world. It reminded me of the delicate balance between humans and wildlife and the importance of preserving these magnificent animals, and their habitats. In that moment, I felt a deep connection to the lion, as if we shared a profound bond, even if only for a fleeting moment. It left an indelible mark on my soul and ignited a passion within me to advocate for wildlife conservation and the protection of endangered species.
Thank you, John. That was a wonderful description. Now, we will move on to part 3 of the speaking test. In this section, I will ask you further questions related to the topic of animals. Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Excellent. Let's begin with the first question. How have people's attitudes towards animals as pets changed over the years?
Well, over the years, there has been a shift towards more compassionate attitudes and better understanding of animals' needs. People are now more aware of the importance of providing appropriate care, nutrition, and a suitable environment for their pets. Furthermore, there is a growing emphasis on adoption and rescue, rather than buying animals from breeders or pet shops.
That's an interesting point. Now, let's discuss the impact of having pets on children. What are the potential benefits and drawbacks?
Having pets can be highly beneficial for children. It teaches them responsibility, empathy, and can promote their emotional development. Pets can also provide a sense of companionship and comfort, especially during challenging times. However, it's important to note that children should be supervised when interacting with pets to ensure their safety, and to avoid potential allergies or infections.
Very well explained, John. Now, let's move on to the final question for this part. How can people be encouraged to treat animals more responsibly?
There are several ways to encourage responsible treatment of animals. Education plays a crucial role. Raising awareness about animal welfare and teaching proper care and handling of pets can help instill a sense of responsibility in people. Additionally, stricter regulations and laws can be implemented to prevent the mistreatment and abuse of animals. It's also important to promote adoption from animal shelters and discourage the purchase of animals from illegal or unethical sources.
Thank you, John, for your thoughtful responses. That concludes the speaking test. You can now relax until we proceed to the next section. Good job! Hello, welcome to the IELTS speaking test. My name is Sarah, and I will be your examiner today. Can you please introduce yourself and confirm your identification?
Hello, Sarah. My name is Emily Johnson, and here is my identification.
Thank you, Emily. Now, let's begin with part 2 of the speaking test. I will give you a topic to talk about. You will have 1 minute to prepare, and then you should speak for up to 2 minutes. Remember, you can make notes if you wish. Here's your topic: describe a wild animal that lives in your country.
Thank you, Sarah. I'm ready to start. One fascinating wild animal that inhabits my country, the United States, is the grizzly bear. Grizzly bears are large mammals known for their distinct appearance and powerful presence. They are predominantly found in the western and northwestern regions of the United States, including Alaska, Montana, Wyoming, and Idaho. These areas offer a diverse habitat ranging from dense forests to alpine meadows, which provide the necessary resources for the grizzly bear's survival. In terms of public sentiment, opinions about grizzly bears vary. Some people view them as awe-inspiring creatures and appreciate their significance in the natural ecosystem. They are seen as symbols of wilderness and represent the country's wildlife heritage. However, there are also concerns about human-bear conflicts, especially in areas where human activities and grizzly bear habitats overlap. This has led to debates about conservation efforts and managing interactions between humans and grizzly bears. As for the future of grizzly bears in the wild, it's difficult to predict with certainty. Currently, there are conservation programs in place to protect these animals and their habitats. However, factors such as habitat loss, climate change, and conflicts with human activities pose challenges. It will require continuous efforts to ensure the preservation of suitable habitats and the coexistence of humans and grizzly bears. With proper conservation measures and public awareness, it is possible to maintain or potentially increase the grizzly bear population in the wild.
Thank you, Emily, for your detailed response. Now, let's move on to part 3 of the speaking test. In this section, I will ask you further questions related to the topic of wild animals. Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Excellent. Let's begin with the first question. How important is it to protect and conserve wild animals in your country?
Protecting and conserving wild animals in my country is of utmost importance. These animals play vital roles in maintaining the ecosystem's balance and preserving biodiversity. They contribute to the overall health and functioning of natural habitats. Additionally, wild animals, such as grizzly bears, hold cultural and symbolic value, reflecting our country's natural heritage. Therefore, it is crucial to implement conservation measures to ensure their survival for future generations.
Well said, Emily. Now, let's discuss the responsibility of individuals in wildlife conservation. What can individuals do to contribute to the protection of wild animals?
Individuals can make a significant difference in wildlife conservation efforts. Firstly, raising awareness about the importance of wild animals and their habitats is crucial. People can actively participate in conservation organizations, volunteer for wildlife projects, or donate to initiatives aimed at protecting and restoring habitats. Additionally, practicing responsible tourism and avoiding activities that harm wildlife can have a positive impact. Finally, supporting sustainable practices and advocating for policies that prioritize wildlife conservation are essential contributions individuals can make.
Thank you for your insightful response. Now, let's move on to the final question for this part. Do you think it's possible to strike a balance between human development and the conservation of wild animals?
Yes, I believe it is possible to strike a balance between human development and wildlife conservation. It requires careful planning, sustainable practices, and incorporating conservation measures into development projects. By considering the ecological impact and adopting measures to minimize habitat destruction, we can create spaces where humans and wild animals can coexist. It's crucial to prioritize the preservation of natural habitats and implement strategies that ensure the long-term survival of wild animals while allowing for responsible human development.
Thank you, Emily, for your thoughtful responses. That concludes part 3 of the speaking test. You can now relax until we proceed to the next section. Well done! Hello, and welcome to the IELTS speaking test. My name is Sarah, and I will be your examiner today. Can you please introduce yourself and confirm your identification?
Hello, Sarah. My name is David Brown, and here is my identification.
Thank you, David. Now, let's begin with part 1 of the speaking test. I will ask you a few questions related to the topic of animals.
Sounds good. I'm ready.
Great. Let's start with the first question. What is the purpose of having zoos?
The primary purpose of zoos is to provide educational opportunities for the public. Zoos aim to educate visitors about various animal species, their habitats, and conservation efforts. They also contribute to scientific research, wildlife conservation, and breeding programs for endangered species. Zoos can play a role in raising awareness about environmental issues and inspiring a sense of empathy and responsibility towards animals.
Thank you, David. Now, let's move on to the next question. What is your opinion about animals being kept in zoos?
Personally, I have mixed feelings about animals being kept in zoos. While I understand the educational and conservation purposes of zoos, I believe it is essential to prioritize the well-being and welfare of the animals. Some zoos provide excellent care, enrichment, and spacious enclosures for the animals, ensuring their physical and mental stimulation. However, there are cases where animals may suffer due to inadequate living conditions or limited space. It is crucial for zoos to continually improve their standards and prioritize the welfare of the animals they house.
Thank you for sharing your viewpoint, David. Now, let's discuss how zoos could be improved. How do you think zoos could be improved?
I believe zoos can be improved by focusing on providing more natural and spacious enclosures for the animals. It's important to create environments that mimic their natural habitats as closely as possible, allowing them to engage in natural behaviors. Additionally, emphasizing education and conservation efforts within zoos can help visitors develop a deeper understanding of wildlife and the importance of conservation. Regular evaluation and monitoring of zoos' practices, as well as collaborating with conservation organizations, can also contribute to continuous improvement.
Those are some valid points, David. Now, let's move on to the next question. Do you think it is important to conserve the world's animal species?
Absolutely, it is crucial to conserve the world's animal species. Biodiversity is essential for maintaining the balance of ecosystems and contributes to the overall health of our planet. Each species plays a unique role in its ecosystem, and the loss of any species can have far-reaching consequences. Conserving animal species ensures the preservation of genetic diversity, protects habitats, and supports the delicate interconnections of ecosystems. It is our responsibility to safeguard these species for future generations.
Thank you, David. Now, let's discuss your opinion on poaching. What is your opinion on poaching?
Poaching is a severe issue that threatens wildlife populations and ecological balance. I strongly condemn poaching as it contributes to the illegal wildlife trade, disrupts ecosystems, and pushes endangered species towards extinction. It is essential to enforce strict laws and regulations to combat poaching, raise awareness about its detrimental effects, and support initiatives that address the underlying factors driving poaching, such as poverty and lack of education. Collaborative efforts between governments, conservation organizations, and local communities are vital in combating this illegal activity.
Well said, David. Now, let's move on to the final question for this part. Do you think money should be spent on protecting wild animals?
Yes, I believe that allocating funds for protecting wild animals is crucial. Wildlife conservation requires financial resources for initiatives such as anti-poaching measures, habitat preservation, research, and educational programs. Protecting wild animals not only contributes to biodiversity and ecosystem health but also has potential benefits for the economy through ecotourism. By investing in the protection of wild animals, we invest in the preservation of our natural heritage and the sustainability of our planet.
Thank you, David, for your thoughtful responses. That concludes part 1 of the speaking test. We will now move on to part 2, where you will have to speak for 2 minutes on a given topic. Please wait for a moment while I prepare the topic card. Alright, David. Here is your topic card. Please take a moment to read it, and then I would like you to speak on the topic for 2 minutes. Remember, you may make notes if you wish. You should speak without interruption. I will let you know when the time is up. Are you ready, David?
Yes, I'm ready. Thank you for this opportunity to share a conservation project that has inspired me. One project that truly stands out is the Sea Turtle Conservation Initiative in Costa Rica. This initiative focuses on the preservation of sea turtle populations along the country's coastlines. Costa Rica is home to several species of endangered sea turtles, including the green sea turtle and the leatherback turtle. These magnificent creatures face numerous threats, such as habitat degradation, pollution, and illegal poaching. The conservation project employs a multifaceted approach to protect the sea turtles. It involves the collaboration of local communities, conservation organizations, and government agencies. One of the key strategies is the establishment of protected nesting beaches, where volunteers and researchers monitor and protect the nesting sites from predators and poachers. Moreover, the project conducts extensive research on sea turtle behavior, migration patterns, and nesting habits. This knowledge is crucial for implementing effective conservation strategies and influencing policy decisions to safeguard these vulnerable species. The initiative also focuses on educating local communities and raising awareness about the importance of sea turtle conservation. Through school programs, workshops, and ecotourism initiatives, they inspire a sense of responsibility and pride in protecting these majestic creatures and their habitats. One of the most inspiring aspects of this project is the involvement of volunteers from around the world. People from different backgrounds and cultures come together to contribute their time and skills, assisting in turtle monitoring, beach cleanups, and public outreach. This collaboration fosters a global perspective on conservation and strengthens the project's impact. As a result of these collective efforts, the sea turtle population in Costa Rica has shown signs of recovery. Increased nesting success rates, reduced poaching incidents, and enhanced community engagement are some of the positive outcomes observed. This project serves as a beacon of hope, demonstrating how collaborative efforts and dedicated conservation initiatives can make a difference in protecting endangered species and their habitats.
Thank you, David. That was a wonderful description. Now, we will move on to part 3 of the speaking test. In this section, I will ask you further questions related to the topic of animals. Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Excellent. Let's begin with the first question. What are the benefits of national parks and wildlife reserves?
National parks and wildlife reserves play a crucial role in conserving natural habitats, protecting wildlife, and providing opportunities for scientific research and education. These protected areas preserve biodiversity, maintain ecological balance, and provide safe havens for endangered species. They also offer recreational and tourism opportunities, contributing to local economies and raising public awareness about the importance of nature conservation.
Thank you, David. Now, let's discuss the impact of climate change on animal habitats. How does climate change affect animal habitats?
Climate change poses significant challenges to animal habitats. Rising temperatures, changing weather patterns, and habitat loss directly impact animal populations. Many species struggle to adapt to rapid changes, leading to disruptions in their breeding, migration, and feeding patterns. Additionally, climate change can result in shifts in species distributions, affecting the delicate interactions within ecosystems. It is crucial to address climate change and implement strategies to mitigate its effects to protect animal habitats and biodiversity.
Very well explained, David. Now, let's move on to the final question for this part. How can individuals contribute to wildlife conservation in their daily lives?
Individuals can contribute to wildlife conservation in various ways. Firstly, practicing sustainable living by reducing energy consumption, minimizing waste, and using eco-friendly products helps reduce our ecological footprint. Supporting ethical and sustainable food choices, such as consuming responsibly sourced seafood, also has a positive impact on marine ecosystems. Additionally, individuals can participate in local conservation projects, volunteer for wildlife organizations, and advocate for stronger environmental policies. By spreading awareness and making conscious choices, we can all contribute to wildlife conservation in our daily lives.
Thank you, David, for your insightful responses. That concludes the speaking test. You can now relax until we proceed to the next section. Well done!